Hi Sequels friends, grab a beverage, grab a snack, maybe get some listings prepared or start some photography because this is going to be a longer video. Today we are going to focus on three things: what sold for the month of December, how do end of year numbers look, as well as a few goals. So let's get into it. Hi Sequels friends, Happy New Year to you. I hope all of you guys had a fabulous holiday and New Year's Eve, and it is so great to be starting off a new year. This is always a fun time to get goals in order, and then also one of my favorite things to deep dive into numbers and get a better idea of how your previous year was, which is what we're going to talk about today. Before we get into it, if there should be anybody new here, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Heather and I am a part-time reseller. I like to sell on all sorts of online platforms, and here on my channel, in addition to reselling, I like to share with you some behind the scenes of this part-time small business I have going on, and I've also been dabbling more in thrifty flips and the like. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and become a Sequels BFF. We're going to talk about December sales, as I said in the intro, end of year results, and some goals to the future. Everything is timestamped for you to below. As always, we start with gross numbers, and right here you can see that total gross sales came in at $1,634.91. As always, we need to remove platform fees, any special discounts, and cost of goods and the like. And that put our net sales in at $1,063.07. I gotta tell you, I am really happy that I hit the over $1,000 mark. I think there were only a few months this year that I did, and I'm so thankful that I managed to accomplish that for December, especially given my last couple of months, if you've been watching me for a while, have been less than stellar. Overall, I sold 46 total units, and my average sale price, what? You guys are gonna be shocked, is over $20. My average sale price came in at $23.11, and that puts my gross margin, ROI, at 65%. As we do, we're gonna talk about sales by category real quick. There were really two categories that are at the top mark. Bags did 15% of the total dollar sales. Jewelry did 10% of the total dollar sales. You're gonna see that when I break down all of my sales by item. Future Heather here. Not quite sure why I completely disregarded tops, but tops were at the top of the list per usual, bringing in 22% of the units and 15% of the total dollar sales. Next up, sales by platform. This month is by far the biggest variation out of any month this year. eBay pulled in 59% of my total dollar sales, followed by Etsy, who is only bringing in 17% of the total sales, followed by Poshmark, who only brought in 12% of the total sales for the month. That is like how Facebook used to do for me. That is ridiculous. Mercari brought me in 5%. It is usually at the bottom of the list. And Facebook, which has not made an appearance in quite some time, I only tend to sell stuff from around that I'm getting rid of from around my house, which is this case, brought in 8% of the total sales. Now we're going to run through the sales by item. And we're gonna do this based on the date that they sold. I've had you guys tell me you really like to see every single item that I sold, and I'm gonna run through it quick because it's a lot of items. First up is this new tag Coldwater Creek Caravan belt. I believe I got this at Goodwill. Sold for $15, net $14 since it sold on Mercari. This cottage core apron picked up at the bins. You can see it sold on eBay for $16.79 all in, but after shipping and the like, I made $8.22. Buffalo plaid drop earrings from a random Goodwill jewelry box, sold on Mercari for please take my jewelry price of $2.50, and I made $1.34. Disney Pixar Nervous Rex tee. I've had this for quite some time. DIY t-shirt thread up box. It sold on eBay for the low asking price, all in at $10.81, and I made $3.16. Vintage Evan Picone wool sweater. This sold pretty quickly within a week of listing. I got this at Goodwill, sold on eBay, all in $34.93 at a discount. I made $19. This vintage handmade patchwork quilt I picked up at Habitat for Humanity before it was destroyed in the hurricane. I've had it for quite some time. Sold it on Etsy, all in at $69. As there's free shipping over there and platform fees, I ended up putting in my pocket $43.76. Nike Air Max from a thread up box, sold them on eBay, all in $39.40, net $18.79. Day Breeze embroidered cat sweatshirt, sold on Etsy, all in including free shipping at $29, made $19.19. Coach Regina bag, you know I've been bragging about this bag. Snatched it up really quick at the Goodwill. Took an offer on eBay for $156.40 all in on the same day I listed it, and made $116.40. This Levi's orange tab briefcase I picked up when I was thrifting in Waynesville. Sold it on eBay, all in for $65.40, and put $42.33 in my pocket. That was an orange tab, so it was likely from the 70s. This Billy Joel concert tee came in a thread up t-shirt, most recent box. Sold it on Mercari for $12, made $10.06. Mustard statement necklace. You guys know I'm like, please come take my jewelry. Make me an offer. And they did on Poshmark for $4, and I lost 6 cents. I don't care. Come and take it. Cabin Creek ruffled denim shirt I got in the Goodwill bin. Sold all in for $10.50, and I made $9.56. I bet you that was on Mercari. This V. Franz cashmere scarf, I think I got it in the bins. Sold it on eBay just 4 days from within listing for $16.38 all in, and made $7.47. Ralph Lauren cable knit sweater. You guys saw this in one of my Vlogvember hauls from Goodwill. Sold it on Etsy, all in $31, and made $26.01. This Pure Jill patchwork top I have been trying to get rid of since March. Got this at the bins. I sold it on Mercari for $20 and net $18.86. Boutique Essentials metallic tee. I think I got this in the bins, and finally somebody bought it at a discount, probably on sale on eBay, $12.43. I made $4.32. Woohoo! It's finally sold on eBay after a year for a deeply discounted price, all in $14.94. I made $3.28. This Gap the Bowery tee came in a recent DIY thread up box. Sold it on eBay for $12.89. Put in my pocket $4.03. Daybreeze embroidered sweatshirt came from the bins. This one sold on Etsy for $23.20 all in, and I net $13.07. This Saks Fifth Avenue cashmere sweater vest, I thrifted 2 of them. The green one sold. I still have the red one. This one sold on Etsy, all in on an Etsy sale for $39.20, and I net $25.85. Men's vintage Fieldmaster V-neck sweater I got at the Goodwill bins. Sold here on eBay for $34.99. I net $21.74. This, Even When Your Voice Shakes tee came out of one of my most recent that you guys saw on this channel, a thread up DIY t-shirt unboxing. Sold it on Mercari for $7, made a whopping $5.06. This potato clothing I think would be worth the pickup again, but I did sell it on sale, and it was on eBay for $36.99, and I made $19.90, so pretty close, $20. Chico's lace knit peasant skirt I picked up in Waynesville at a local thrift store. I sold it on eBay on an eBay sale for $31.55 and made $18.68. I set of handmade curtains in red gingham. You guys know I've been loving picking up curtains this season in the bins. I discounted these on sale for $31.55 all in and net $19.42. Speaking of curtains, these two ruffle curtains I've had since July. These took a while to sell and I'm not quite sure. I've sold very similar style curtains to these, so I'm not quite sure why it took so long to sell. Maybe I should reevaluate my picture compared to the other ones, but somebody ended up picking up two sets of, these were sold as sets of two and they picked up both sets of two, all in at $96.38 and I net $61.50. That was a $3.36 bin's fine. Our toggle clasp bracelet came in thread up, American Thrift, some jewelry box. You know I don't care about jewelry anymore, so let's see if I made any money on it. Sold it on eBay for $11.26 and made $3.66. Sitting on these quarter carat 4mm studs because I didn't know the metal of them. Listed them across all platforms saying, I don't know, take it at your risk. Somebody on eBay took the bait just within a week of listing for $73.26 and I made $55.41. Had it since July, sold it on Etsy on sale, deep discounted for $23.20 and made $13.38. These beautiful pink embroidered linen cloth napkins sold within 11 days of listing. I got them in Waynesville at a local thrift store. They sold on Etsy for $23.20 and I made $11.36. This purple 3-row beaded necklace came in Goodwill or American Thrift jewelry box. Sold it on eBay for $11.99, made a whopping $3.76. Beautiful ribbon silk jacket, super unique. I've had this since September. I knew I would find a buyer that would appreciate it and pay a good price for it. And I actually found it on Poshmark. You guys, if this Poshmark seller didn't come through, my Poshmark numbers would have been less than 12% of the total because this was a $99 sale. And I ended up putting in my pocket $74.70. Uniqueness continues to move for me. My new pro shakes for my neighbor have been bringing me in money every month. This one, and they only sell on eBay. This one sold for $79.20 and I ended up putting $58.38 in my pocket. Some more Please Take It jewelry, bourbon and bow ties, bracelets, sold both of them together in a bundle for $9.99, made $2.69. This was a fun one. These Franco Hearts to Love vinyl placemats. They're giving me all sorts of 90s country vibes, so that means they are all sorts of cottagecore vibes now. I think my partner was giggling when I picked these up at Habitat for $3. I ended up selling them on Etsy for $34 and after free shipping, I put $17.90 in my pocket. These Hoka came in a thread up shoebox. Sold them on Poshmark for $41, net $25.39. This diamond accent tennis bracelet, another piece of jewelry from my partner's mom that I've held on to forever because I can't figure out, even with metal testing, what the metal is. Did the same thing, put it out there, said buy at your own risk. Somebody on eBay snatched it up for $53.78 and I put $40.94 in my pocket. I'm guessing that tennis bracelet was nicer than I thought it was, but I'm happy for it to be gone. Time and True blue dress I picked up for myself at Goodwill. Wasn't expecting to make any money on this because I bought it for myself and it didn't fit. Just wanted to be even Stevens, and I pretty much did. I sold it on eBay for $16.99 and made $1.91. Jordache wool blazer. I got this in the bins. I sold it on Poshmark. I let it go for a lower price because when I got home from the bins, I realized it shrunk a little bit because the lining was a little bit longer than the jacket. So I let it go on an offer for $27 and I put $19.93 in my pocket. Copper twist cuff bracelet, again guys, with the jewelry. This one sold on eBay, all in for $20.16, and I net $11.16. Marie Michaels long sleeve cream blouse, very cute. Thrifted this at a local thrift store in Waynesville. Sold it on eBay for $26.66 and made just $11.97. That I would not pick up again because it was a $5 cost of goods. If I found something like that in the bins, it would totally be worth it. Levi's orange tab long sleeve snap front Western shirt. You guys saw this in a Waynesville thrift haul that I shared with you. This is anticipated, has its orange tab, 70s. I was surprised it took as long as it did to sell. I have had it since September, and it sold for $91.23, an offer on eBay, and I made $75.27. I did pay up $9 for that. A Laura Ashley nightgown, another thing I thrifted on that same thrift trip in Waynesville. This one sold on Poshmark for an offer of $18, and I made $11.40. And then last up is this old lawnmower that our neighbor, you know, he's giving me the shakes all the time. He knows that we sell stuff. He gave us this to resell. We've been sitting on it for quite some time, but I did have somebody come out to pick it up just today for the full $80 asking price. It is a Briggs & Stratton lawnmower, and given it sold on Facebook, I put $80 in my pocket. Those are the best of all the items that sold along with the bolos. Let's talk real quickly about end of season sales. Overall, I grossed $15,292.57 for the year of 2024. Not bad for a part-time gig at all. I moved into my bank account $9,322.14. So that is the total amount of money that I made. Now, I'm not talking about expenses in this video, but do know that some of that money does go to expenses. Overall, 21% of the items I sold were on markdown. My average sale price came in at $14.61. And my gross margin came in at 61%. So for the entire year, what I earned, I typically put in my pocket 61% of it. I have been keeping track this last year of how much money per year I make just flipping and reselling stuff out of my own closet, my own house, or my partner's closet. And overall, I made $623.33. My best-selling categories for 2024 are highlighted in sequels pink. Let's talk about them from least popular to most popular. So least popular, it looks like it was a cross-up between shoes and accessories. Shoes bringing in 7% of the total units and 8% of the total dollars, while accessories brought in 11% of the total units and 8% of the total dollars. So I had to move more units to make similar amount of money. Next up are dresses, which have always been shoes and dresses and tops have always been really well performing categories for me historically. Here it looks like dresses brought in 8% of the total units on 9% of the total dollars, and tops brought in 17% of the total units on 10% of the total dollar sales. Again, have to move a lot of tops to make that money, but they're always moving. And it looks like my best category for 2024 is the home category. And that is no surprise to me, not only because of all the additional home items I've been picking up in the bins, specifically linens, curtains, fabric, etc., but also that is the category that I am putting my neighbor's new pro shakes in, which if you've been watching, have been making me at least $100 to $150 a month. Sales by platform is extremely interesting. We just talked about sales by platform for the month of December, and you can see the steady decline that's been going on in some of the platforms that have historically always done very well for me. Here's what it looks like for the year. So My least performing platform was Whatnot, which makes sense because I've only done 3 shows over there and I only sold 4 items in 1 show. Next up, doing 2% of the total sales was Facebook. As I said before, Facebook does not work for me anymore, barely to even sell stuff from my own house. 8% of my total sales were done in Mercari. This is going to be an interesting platform to see if we move forward with because it does less than 10% of the total sales. Etsy is number 3, bringing in 22% of the total dollar sales. Poshmark is number 2, bringing in 26% of the dollar sales, and eBay is number 1, bringing in 42% of the dollar sales. Sales by month. I made a little cheat sheet chart here, and I thought it was interesting to share that my top 3 best performing months, which are highlighted in Sequels Pink, were March, April, and December. And historically, March has always been my best month of the year. And I really want to bring that to your attention as well as to my own attention because we're moving into a new year and that gives us 2 months to be prepared across all platforms with some newness and some excitement. Now that we know how the year ended, let's talk about a few goals that I have for 2025. Now, I have done goals in the past, stretch goals. I get very advantageous during the new year to start new things and do new things. I'm mentally more aware now that I may not follow through on any of those things and I get really excited and then I get overwhelmed with all the things I want to do. So I'm trying to be smart about it this year and just pinpoint some key goals, and several of them are in the direction in which I've already been talking about for 4th quarter. So for 4th quarter, I had a different pricing strategy. I decided that I have always been pricing high to mark down, to send offers, to run sales, and I do not feel like that strategy has been working for a lot of this year. So I have been pricing items to move. That means when I look at comps, whatever they've recently sold for is what I'm pricing them for. I know I have said this before if I look through a previous goals video, but I would really like to focus on sourcing at the bins a minimum of once a week. I typically source at the bins about once a month, but I find that I tend to pick up things that I may not pick up if I sourced there more often. Now, what I do need to make sure of is that I am budgeting for that, because right now a lot of times you know that I will be feast or famine when it comes to thrifting. If my sales slow down, I stop thrifting because I am a cheapo. I'm cheap, and it's hard for me to spend money if money's not rolling in. So what I have done is I have just budgeted for the amount that I typically spend on a binge trip and have put that in for a weekly budget so that those monies will always be there so that I can guarantee to go to the bins once a week. I would also plan in the new year to schedule, I would say a goal of monthly, but a stretch goal of weekly, to repetitively schedule a delete, relist, markdown session. That is where I go through, I look at my handy dandy spreadsheet, I say, this stuff has existed for 3 months, and so now I want to delete it. I want to revamp pricing based on current comps. I want to revamp listings, and I want to relist it. Or maybe I decide, why the heck did I even pick that up? There's been no interest at all in 3 months and I should just go ahead and mark it down. I have found that strategy has been working really well for me. I would like to experiment with some more live selling in the new year. I dabbled. It has not been awesome out of the gate. I have not been super successful with it, but I was very surprised to find that I was not intimidated by it or uncomfortable by it in any way. And I think that may be good. I'm not sure yet. So I would like to experiment with that a little more. What I did this year was took stuff that has been in my inventory and put it in and did whatnot shows on it. I do not want to do that because I pre-bag all my inventory. So I had to unwrap everything and it became very time consuming. I think I'd like to do a strategy similar to I've seen some other resellers bins or dollars days, and they pick out the items that they're specifically sourcing that they're going to try in a live sale first. And then if it doesn't work, move it to, and if it doesn't sell immediately in that show, move it over and list it across their platforms. Now, of course, if the item is chef's kiss, I'm not gonna do it on a Whatnot show. If it's vintage goodness, I'm not gonna do it on a Whatnot show. I'm gonna go ahead and put those items right into my online shops. But I think this strategy may help with the flow. And then for YouTube, I'd like this video, clearly for the new year, I'm at my old sitting station and just talking to you in front of the camera. But I had a lot of fun with Vlogvember and it got some creative juices flowing, and I think you guys liked it a lot. So I'd like to do more Vlogvember style behind the scenes content, maybe a video that just shows you a bunch of things from behind the scenes, maybe what sold or an unboxing video. Maybe we're in some different areas. Maybe you're thrifting with me a little bit more. I've definitely dabbled more in thrift flips, which I'd like to share with you guys more. And there are also some other areas of my home. We did a fun little rental friendly refresh for Vlogvember, but I have 2 other areas because I think we're going to renew our lease for 1 more year in October. And if we are, there's 2 other areas I'd like to just rental revamp a little bit. So I'd like to share those with you. In addition, it's time. I've been on YouTube for what, like 4 or 5 years now. It's time to do an upgrade, in my opinion, of equipment. I'm still fine with filming on my phone. I'm comfortable with that. I'd like to continue with that. This ring light can, when I tell you I'm gonna take it out back and go office space on it, I will. I hate this ring light. It falls over constantly. I hate it. I'd like to move into something better, move into some new stands and holders for my car and my home and for around the house. So I'd like to invest in some things that make that part easier because I did learn from Vlogvember that sometimes more fun content I don't always create because it becomes cumbersome to create. I'd also like to get a bigger hard drive. I'm overdue for that. And I think I'd like to get a desktop computer just because I'm plugging in drives and then sometimes unplugging them to move my laptop and blah, blah, blah. I'm just done with that. So I'd like to get all of that stuff accomplished by the end of this year. And then last but not least, as a stretch goal, I would like to use ChatGPT a little bit more to help me planning with some short or TikTok content, and that is assuming that TikTok moves forward. If it doesn't, I may jump onto a new social platform. I've said over and over, you guys, I'm not good at social. YouTube is the only thing I could keep up with. And I think a lot of times I'm just overwhelmed with ideas and I don't know where to start. And ChatGPT was very helpful in my Vlogvember, helping me narrow down on ideas, helping me create like a marketing schedule, like for my live shows, to tell me to post, I have these ideas for socials, post this one on this day and do this for TikTok and do this for YouTube. And that has just helped me not be so overwhelmed. So that is it. I know this is a super long video. I hope you guys are enjoying it and stretching out this whole new year content for the whole month of January. We get it out right now and get to move into some new and fun stuff. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And I can't wait to see what we all accomplish in the new year. So much, guys. I will see you next Wednesday with some more reselling content. Take care. Bye.